Yo, guys, what's up? What's up?
What's going on?
How's it going? Winter House Gaming Podcast, number 116. Today is a momentous occasion. I have a very serious question to ask all of you guys.
No.
Have you ever accidentally bounced a basketball and it went into a hoop 2 miles away?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Well, why do you ask? I do that every day.
Because
Thursday.
exactly. Because that feeling that you would get if that actually had happened is exactly the feeling I got today watching the PlayStation event.
That's
Was
an oddly specific analogy.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Really is.
Sounds like you had this prepared like 2 months ago.
No, I just for some reason I'm thinking in my head, what is the weirdest thing that could happen where you would just be in so awe, you'd be awestruck and you couldn't really just explain it. You'd have to see it. That's kind of what I felt as far as the PlayStation event went today. The presentation was absolutely beautiful. The whole entire thing was.
It was. It was definitely a far cry from
But
the
they didn't
last
show Far Cry.
from the last thing when it was Mark Cerny talking to a wall for an hour and a half or whatever.
Well, they definitely redeemed themselves from that because that was
Absolutely.
just
It was just wall to wall game trailers, games. They're like, hey, here, look at this game. Hey, here, look at another game. Hey, you know what we have? Check out this game.
And on top of that, there was actual gameplay, unlike the Xbox conference that happened recently, which was just a complete nightmare and disaster.
Well, they learned not to talk through the whole thing. I was worried at first. I saw a little bit of talking and I'm like, oh my god, please don't do this, please don't. And then all of a sudden it's just game, a little bit of talking, and then just games. You know what I mean? I couldn't fucking believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I rewatched it again right before we started the podcast. I watched the whole thing over again. It was even better the second time around. It's so good.
It really was. I brought my laptop in at 3:30. I started it, and they had like the little timer thing, and I was watching it. And my coworker that works with me, he goes, "What are you doing?" I mean, the guy's 7 years old, so he obviously doesn't game.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? You're like giddy and shit. And I'm like, yeah. That's like talking to him about the event, and then he looks over and he goes, "Did you just pull out your laptop? Is that what is that timer?" So he's asking all these questions and I'm telling him about it. He goes, I don't think I've ever seen you this excited about anything in your life except maybe a Friday night of going out to the bar and drinking or karaoke or some shit.
Right.
Yeah, I was really excited. So I had my computer, and then I had my earbuds in on my phone, and I was walking out to the car and I could hear it here, and it was playing in 2 different directions. And then I set it in the driver's seat, on the passenger side seat while I was driving. And I'm just like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to listen to it. This is very dangerous.
But you're driving like this.
Exactly. Maybe a little bit. Don't tell anybody, please. And then when I picked up Carrie, he held on to it and made sure to keep it running.
Right.
So I can keep track of it. So it was kind of entertaining in the first part of it. So it was fun. I was a little excited. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
I actually had to go back and rewatch the entire thing because I wasn't able to watch it while I while I was streaming.
Right.
And because I had to go to the hospital.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I was kind of like in the hospital, and I was kind of like looking at my phone, like trying to like wait for like to be seen, but I'm just like, great, Demon Soul.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first time I was hearing about you were in the hospital. You're all right? Everything good?
Yeah, like the weirdest thing happened today. So like I sneezed like 3 times in a row, and on the last time, I just felt like an insanely sharp pain, like from like behind my rib.
Mm-hmm.
So like I thought I had a hernia.
Ooh.
But it turns out that I just like pulled like a muscle.
Oh shit.
Sneezing too hard. I don't know. I'm
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
yeah, getting old sucks.
So it hurts.
Right.
Like the Dickens, but so like when I got home, I like rewatched the entire thing, and I'm like, and then I actually ranked them on a system of 1 for like Spider-Man, and then all the way to 4 for fucking NBA or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Some NBA thing.
All the way to it doesn't exist to me.
All the way to more Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
when it opened with that, I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
I was. Go ahead, Eric. You first.
Yeah, that was a strange way to start things off. I do think it's cool that GTA Online is going to be like free or whatever for early adopters. That's really neat for the 3 people left on the planet that don't own GTA 5 yet.
Yeah.
And I mean, considering they opened up the show with that, when already they're opening up the PS5 event with a PS4 game that was a remaster of a PS3 game, I'm just like, oh, cool.
I am
GTA 5.
When I saw that,
all right.
Did it say $1 million a month?
Yeah,
it did. Yeah,
something like that,
yeah. I saw that and I'm just like, holy fuck! This game has reached 3 generations of consoles.
Yep.
The game has survived.
Granted, it was basically the tail end of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 generation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I officially own it on
still
PC probably twice, and then PS3, Xbox 360, One, PS4, and now man, it's
not to mention they're also giving it away for free.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good
what a
stunt.
deal.
Well, it's a good stunt for them because they're trying to prolong what they have, and people keep spending money on it. I'm curious if everything. Now, did we see if saves are going to seamlessly transfer in? It's just using the cloud, right?
Right. They didn't specify, but I'd imagine that like your GTA Online account will probably seamlessly go right over.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you have to like you all sign into it from your Rockstar Social Club account anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I was very impressed that I'm like, this good for Rockstar. Good for them. They've successfully created a game that didn't have to be remastered, but it lasted so damn long that now they're just like, you guys deserve this, or this is PR for us, or something. Yeah. I don't know, but it's very cool.
I'm pretty excited for a GTA 6 to land on the PlayStation 7. That's gonna be pretty cool.
At this point, they're probably. GTA 5 it's gonna last so fucking long. I'm gonna be 100.
Skyrim 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 100, and there's gonna be like 3 more DLCs for it or some shit.
I will say that after a relatively confusing start, they did come in with like the 1-2 punch with Spider-Man Miles Morales
especially with that being available this holiday season at launch. Like that is it's a launch title for the PlayStation 5. How cool is that?
That's
I know that
pretty fucking cool, man.
Might come as a surprise that I plan to get that day one.
No way.
No. Wow.
No. I don't like Spider-Man. No.
I've already went on Amazon and pre-ordered 5 games for PS5 that you can actually pre-order.
Oh shit!
So I was Scarlet Nexus. Was it Nexus?
Yeah, Scarlet Nexus actually looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Pretty dope.
But it's all those December 31st, 2020 things. So that's kind of like an end date.
Confirmed release date.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there's one of them
games that are confirmed to come to PS5.
One of them even said 2021 December 31st, and I'm just like, fuck it. I just
fuck it.
It doesn't matter. I'll just try to pay attention to it. I don't want it to surprise me.
I thought it was especially bold and surprising to see that not only was Spider-Man announced, but almost immediately after, maybe 1 or 2 trailers after, we got surprised with a new Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yep.
That is one of the top games from the show for me personally. Honestly, I thought that like as far as like graphical fidelity, that was the trailer that impressed me the most. Because we're kind of getting to a point now with the technology where, it's kind of diminishing returns. We're like, I remember the first time I saw like a PS3 game in action, like I was blown all the way the fuck away.
Yeah.
And then when I first saw a PS4 game, it was like, wow, that looks really good. And then I see some of these, I'm like, I'm pretty sure some of these could run on a PS4. Like, I mean, I don't think many of the trailers like really just like wowed me with the graphics. The Ratchet and Clank though, that one, like all the particle effects and like the you can tell, like, you know, they put the ray tracing technology to work, and that one with like the reflections and stuff, like on the floors you could see these like perfect reflections of the explosions and particle effects and stuff shining off of the floor tiles, and it was very pretty game. Very impressive. Also with like the space-time warping shit where you can just zip across the battlefield and
so
stuff. Insane.
Jason came in to the apartment right before the podcast, and he said, kind of yelling, you know, and he goes, how did Ratchet and Clank make it this far and Jak and Daxter has not? Why did he die back in the PS2 era? You know, sometimes that's just the way it is. That actually boggles my mind a little bit too. You think if anything would be remastered also, that would be on the list of, you know, the top 50 things to remaster.
And at the time, Jak and Daxter was a bigger franchise.
Yeah,
it's true.
It was huge. Yeah, but I don't know if some asshole owns the licensing for it or what, but come on, man, pitter patter.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Sony owns
the licensing to Jak and Daxter.
I mean, it was developed by Naughty Dog after Naughty Dog went on to make Uncharted. Jak and Daxter just kind of got left to the wayside. I'm trying to think. It got like an HD remaster on PS3, but it's been pretty much in Vita. I have it on Vita, but yeah, it has been pretty much all but forgotten after that point.
Now, speaking of Sony, surprise, did you see how ambitious that Sony Studios is getting right now?
Yeah, it was. Oh, I think because I never have seen that logo before, that PlayStation Studios, and I was at the beginning of almost every trailer. So I'm guessing that's just like Sony's new publishing house.
Oh,
I think it's just kind of consolidating all their first-party developers into one unified brand.
And maybe they want to.
I mean, the different games still had the different developer logos, like at the end. So, like,
at the end.
Spider-Man still said it was by Insomniac. Whatever, all that, but all those that start off with that PlayStation Studios, I think that's just like where it used to be published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Whatever, I think they're just rebranding their publishing.
I think it's just falling under like the umbrella of PlayStation Studios.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
that makes sense, because I saw it a lot, and I'm just like, you're getting really fucking ambitious. But I think they really
basically the PlayStation Studios logo is now just a license to print money.
Basically,
yeah. At that point, it is.
They kind of took a page out of Microsoft's book with the Microsoft Game Studios or whatever. You know, like that's not the.
Yeah, we all see how long that lasted.
When I saw when I saw Demon's Souls, I thought of you guys instantly, because I was like, "Wait, is this another Dark Souls?" No, it doesn't. It doesn't have like the. It's not really dark, but
yeah. At first glance, I thought it was Elden Ring.
Yeah, I thought it was too. Yeah.
I mean, I could immediately tell it was a FromSoft game. Like, it didn't take more than a second for me to just look at the art style. I'm like, that's a FromSoft game.
I saw the undead, like the classic armor, and then I'm just like at first I thought it was Elden Ring, much like Eric, and then like for a tiny second I held out like a sliver of hope. I'm just like, Dark Souls 4?
That's what I thought.
I had the same exact thought.
I'm in the car going, no shit. No fucking shit. They're gonna shit themselves.
Yeah, but for me, like, Demon's Souls is still one game that I have not beat, like in the Soulsborne franchise. But I have played like about like 30% of it probably. And as soon as I saw the Tower Knight with that, you know, that giant shield, I'm like, it's Demon's Souls. It's Demon's. Oh my god, this is fucking Demon's Souls. That I saw like the Flame Lurker and stuff, and
so I assume you're going to get it. I gotta
all the way the fuck out. Oh, that's my most hyped game from the show.
Yeah, I gotta take a real fast moment to say hi to everybody in the comments here. Jeremy, how you doing? James, what's up?
What's going on, y'all?
Montano, hello. Eric Sticks, what's going on? He says, so PS5, yes, that's all I have to say.
Eric.
Also, PS5 looks cooler.
Other white meat.
He says PS5 looks cooler and better than Xbox as it usually does. Oh, shots fired. And Shane throwing the 3,000 stars to us. Thank you so much, Shane.
Thank you, buddy.
You rock. That is actually one of my favorite animations for sending stars. It's the pinata.
The pinata.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
James coming in with another 10 stars.
Thank you so much, you guys. We really appreciate that. What did you guys think of RE8?
I think it looks pretty fucking awesome, to be honest.
Super pumped about it.
I knew Tony.
Honestly, I gotta tell you, throughout the entire trailer, I had I didn't either.
Eric beat us when we were in the social chat hanging out. He beat us all to it. He's like, I didn't want to say anything, but I thought it looked like a Resident Evil game, and we were just like, it looked like a mix between Resident Evil and Silent Hill. That's all I could get out of it. But it looks
just the
really
art
none
style
of which is
alone.
bad news, though.
Yeah, no, just the art style alone. As I'm watching it, like I didn't want to blurt out it's Resident Evil and look like a dumbass if it wasn't Resident Evil. But the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this is giving me some strong RE7 vibes. Just the aesthetic of it and like the
it definitely did. The aesthetic gave me that, but I for some reason it just didn't like feel like a Resident Evil game.
But it's funny because as soon as like the logo comes up, it says Village. My first thought is like, oh, good thing I didn't say it was Resident Evil. I would have looked like a dumbass.
And then underneath,
8 Resident Evil. I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have said something.
Like, I heard the rumor that it was going to be set in a village, so like I got it like right before the text color changed to let us know that it was Resident Evil. So I saw a village and I'm like, oh yeah.
Wait.
This is Resident Evil.
I have a question. The trailer that said Village, that was Resident Evil 8?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Village 8. I'm like, that's a weird name.
Well, after it showed the 8, the Resident Evil,
just the game version of the M. Night Shyamalan film, The Village.
Well, funny you say that, Tony, because that's what I thought.
When it popped up and I didn't see Resident Evil, I was like, oh, so they're just trying to make a knockoff of The Village. And then I saw Resident Evil and I was like, okay.
But for the record, I did glance at that while I was driving, so bad boy.
Actually, like the way that I kind of like ranked my most looked forward to games like that we're seeing today, it's like a mix of like just like AAA-ness, originality, concept design, and just like sheer like intrigue and fun. Like, for example, there were a couple of games that, like, while we have no context, Pragmata, whatever the hell that
looked pretty cool.
Or not.
My first
digital cat.
My first thought about Pragmata upon seeing it is it looks very Kojima-esque.
It does.
Yeah, I was about to say Death Stranding light.
Wait, is that the one with the lady?
That was the one with like the astronaut guy and the little girl and the weird like
the satellite was crashing down from space.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I'm not gonna throw all my chips on the table and like say, oh, it's the next Kojima game, but it didn't say who was developed by. It didn't say it was published by Capcom. Published by Capcom.
Published by Capcom.
Developed by Capcom.
That's that's just the money.
So other than a few select games that come to mind, Dragon's Dogma, pretty much anything Capcom does, I'm on board.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. Like, I mean, I'm not saying for sure that I think it's a Kojima game, but I would not be surprised if somewhere down the line, because you know how Kojima likes to play fucking mind games and shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
he plays his cards close to the chest here.
Oh yeah.
So like, I wouldn't be surprised if they like approached, Kojima Studios was like, hey, we want to publish a game of yours. Want to make some weird shit? We'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Kojima's like, all right, sure, why not?
I'll tell you what.
It had a very strong Death Stranding vibes.
Well, that's what I thought. I told the guy at work. No, it was Derail. I told him, I was like, is that Death Stranding? Like, what's happening? But look, I have to watch this again because Eric Sticks said something. He goes, did anyone notice that at the beginning of that old man shot the guy in the face, but nothing happened? I would.
I did notice
that was Res 8, right?
Yeah.
I gotta go see that because That sounds
Yeah, he had like a
hilarious.
shotgun and he just like shot him in the
I watched that too. I was like, do bullets and not do anything anymore?
Right.
Like,
And I'm also
That's a little
curious about something Jeremy said earlier. Right when the podcast came on, he said this. All the games look like I was watching a Nintendo release. What does that mean?
But
was he referring to like some of the indie style games that have come out?
Maybe,
I mean,
but I'm hoping
on.
that he means like the hype kind of thing, because there was a little bit of hype on the Nintendo release.
I mean, and who can knock Bug Snacks?
You know I'm gonna buy that, right?
I was gonna say that. That's exactly what I said too. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a Dave game through and through.
I don't know why. I don't understand. I don't understand it, but yeah, you're right. These games are just...
Honestly, like in terms of like Dave games, I kind of figured that Stray
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
what was it?
Yeah.
Tina Bridge of Spirits looked the most
Yep.
Davish.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
We were actually going through the games as it was going on, and we were like, "Oh, would Dave buy this? Like, is this a Dave would
Is this
play?
Dave?
If this Dave,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we.
Oh, shit.
That's
What
why I was
was-
mentioning the other day. We all have kind of like a thing.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
indie games.
and I'm not
was
gonna, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like we all know what it is. Gran Turismo 7.
Oh, fuck. You
Yeah.
mean Gran Turismo 855?
God damn it, we've
Dude,
gone through
honestly,
this,
should just
Dave.
be called Kelly.
But,
Yeah.
Project Athia looked really cool.
Hey,
Ooh,
I was
yeah.
actually about to mention
Square
that.
Enix game.
I was actually going to ask, what do you guys think of that new Square Enix game, Project Athia? I thought I mean, we know nothing about it,
Yeah.
but
Just
just based on the cinematics alone, it looks absolutely insane.
yeah, that was one that piqued my interest a lot. Probably
So-
more so than most of the others.
They really did look amazing. Chris just said something very interesting, and I'm curious if this came about with the whole No Man's Sky thing that happened. He said all the games looked amazing, but as always, I don't want to get my expectations up too high, because when the game comes out 2 years from now, they might not look or play it like they showed them. Now, is that No Man's Sky culture thing happening? Is that...
Well,
I
that's
think
call
it
it
might
No
be
more
Man's
time-
Sky syndrome.
More in terms of that, what was that, Puddlegate.
Puddlegate?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, right.
from
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to learn to temper your expectations from the start with these things. I mean, over the course, you've seen it like year after year at E3s and stuff like that. Like, there was like Watch Dogs, there was No Man's Sky, there was fucking Driver 3 further back than that. There was
Yep.
like there's
I remember
always
that
going to
whole
be
thing.
games that Halo 2, even fucking Halo 2. If you look at the original launch trailer for Halo 2 versus the actual game, the game looks nowhere near as pretty as the original gameplay trailer did.
Right.
And I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. Killzone 2, god fucking. But like they create a vertical slice because they want to generate hype. So they create this like very small contained version, even if it is a gameplay trailer. They make a small contained version of what the game is going to be just to show it off. But then when they create like the entire world of the game, it might not run on the system the way it did when they had like a little tiny section of the world.
Well, that's
You know,
why I'm
The system
That's why I'm
loaded it in a
actually
different way.
glad that we got to experience actual gameplay for Gran Turismo
Yeah.
7 and for Ratchet and Clank.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
I
like
thought was
extended gameplay.
Yeah, extended
where-
gameplay. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, Watch Dogs showed an extended amount of gameplay too, and then the game looked nothing like that.
But
So,
then
I mean,
again,
that's-
Ubisoft kind of has a history of
They do.
doing
do.
stuff like that. So
Um, Yeah, I mean, I love as much as I love a lot of their games. Sometimes their
they have
pre-release footage has come across as a little misleading at times.
Right.
yeah, it definitely can. I'll give you that for sure.
But I mean, I take every trailer I see with a grain of salt. And also, I'm just not that fucking picky. Like, when I get the final game, when I did play Watch Dogs, it didn't even occur to me that it looked that much different from the trailer. I'm just like, I'm having
Right.
fun with this game. I don't give a shit that it doesn't look. I don't give a shit that his coat isn't exactly blowing in the wind the exact
Right.
same way that it did in the trailer.
It's
Well,
not
I mean-
blowing at the 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
I
We've
want
been
my
so
money
used
back.
to we've been so used to that though, like, just having these games, the cinematic trailers be amazing, and then the games, it doesn't look like that, but let's take the intro to Final Fantasy VIII. I mean, I thought the video was great. It looked fantastic. The flowers and the sword, gunblade or whatever. And then all of a sudden you play the game and you're just like, sometimes, because of the way the polygons are done, sometimes it's hard to make out where your character is or that bush right there. It's like, but
yeah.
But the reality is...
That was in a time when there was a lot of pre-rendered cutscenes.
Right.
Of course, and the pre-rendered stuff looked amazing, and the actual gameplay looked like doo-doo.
Yeah, and
although it is worth noting that they've been pushing so much about the benefits to the solid state drive, to the proprietary technology they put into that, the SSD and everything. That one of the main reasons that, like I mentioned before, that those vertical slices would look so much better than the full games is that the vertical slice doesn't take into account like how it's going to load the rest of the area, load the rest of the level and stuff like that. Supposedly load times aren't really going to be an issue anymore because of the fact that there's almost instantaneous access to this solid state media. So I mean, maybe that concept of the vertical slice won't be as dramatic of a difference as it used to be.
Right.
But, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm thinking that it won't be as dramatic now.
Yeah.
Or hell, maybe it might be even more dramatic. Who knows?
Right. So we had there was actually Eric, he goes what about Oddworld? Completely forgot about that one. Now Eric O'Connor,
I was gonna bring up soon.
Yeah, okay. You love Oddworld.
Yeah.
Hello, follow me. Okay.
Please. Here, boy.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of. I've been playing Oddworld since Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah,
all the way back in the day. Yeah, when I saw, was it a Soulstorm? I think they called it.
Yep.
Oh my god, it looks amazing. I mean, just like new and tasty was awesome because that was just a remake of Abe's Odyssey, or whatever. And it was a really well made remake, but it was still a remake of a 20-year-old game.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like the most fresh and original thing that's come out of the Oddworld franchise since, what was the last game in the Oddworld?
Stranger's Wrath, I think.
Stranger's Wrath, yeah. Back in 2005.
Jesus, yeah, then it's been a hell of a long time.
It's about time.
Yeah. So I'm pretty pumped about that one.
Yeah.
It's
it did look quite amazing, along with Sackboy. Sackboy. Now, Sackboy. Now, Sackboy doesn't really. It looked great, but you can only go so far with graphics on a game like that. I feel
right.
It's more like an extended.
The yarn
content.
can only look so fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It can only look so yarny. So I'm actually really excited about that because I really enjoyed Little Big Planet before, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that they do the same type of stuff with this. Go ahead.
What's interesting to me is I'm actually looking forward to that as well, but mainly because I've never been a fan of
Little Big
Planet's gameplay. I always liked the aesthetic and I liked the world and everything of it, but like that 2.5D platforming, I always felt it was just like the platforming just felt too loose and weird for me to really attach to it. Yeah, like the way you jumped onto the foreground or background objects and stuff like that.
Oh, that could be annoying.
It definitely was a little bit annoying and tedious at times.
Yeah, that was always a little off-putting to me because when I play a 2D platformer, I like super tight precision, like Mario games or whatever, or Rayman. Like Rayman Legends to me is like perfection just distilled into a 2D platformer.
Yeah.
But the looseness of Little Big Planet always kind of deterred me from really getting into it. But the fact that this new Sackboy game is going complete 3D platformer to me is that makes me a lot more interested in it than I would be just another run-of-the-mill Little Big Planet.
Yeah. I didn't mind.
Agree.
I didn't mind the the platform, when you're going to the foreground and the background and stuff like that.
Right.
But it was sometimes it was very difficult to nail that mechanic in that game. So it was it might have been a little bit broken or too loose, like you were saying. But I understand that. Now, I would like to see and this might be a little odd, maybe, and maybe it just shouldn't happen, is kind of like a 3D world with Sackboy, a Little Big Planet RPG type thing, because I like that.
That'd be interesting.
It would
be interesting. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of bold as far as changing a platform.
Yeah,
people don't generally like to do that.
Sounds like you're kind of gunning for a Little Big Planet Odyssey.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I like the art, and I would love to see something like that, but maybe not.
Well, you could always get a Astro Playroom.
I was just about to point that one out too. I was gonna say, as far as like QT platforms goes, what's interesting is the last Astrobot game was a VR exclusive, a PlayStation VR game, and of course that was a spin-off of the Playroom VR. So this one doesn't look like it's a VR game, or at least not exclusively a VR game, judging from like the camera and stuff like that in the gameplay trailer. It didn't look like someone was looking at it from a VR perspective.
Right.
I'm curious to find out if it has like an included VR mode, like maybe it's a game where you can play it in or out of VR, or maybe this one's just not a VR game, which would be kind of weird, considering that was like one of that Astrobot, whatever it was called, Astrobot something.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be a VR game, and typically those
one
are
of the bigger PSVR games. So
now Astro was kind of like Sony's mascot for a while, wasn't it?
It was basically the PSVR mascot in a sense. Yeah,
that's the best way to put it.
It's kind of neat that they made like a game, like I assume it's a full game out of it. It had the recipe.
Like
it had the recipe for it, for sure.
I mean, the Playroom VR, by the way, if you have a PlayStation VR and you haven't downloaded it, you're wrong. But the Playroom VR was a free to play game, which was like a collection of mini games, and that was I still haven't played like the actual full Astrobot game, but the Playroom VR was one of the tightest VR experiences I've had within PlayStation VR. Like, it's just, all of the games in it are super fun. They were just, some of them have like cool asynchronous multiplayer between people playing on the TV and people playing within the VR headset. And then, that gained enough popularity and stuff that they made the Astrobot spin-off game. Like I said, I haven't played that one yet, so I guess they're turning into a whole franchise now, which is cool.
Right. Yeah. I really, really, really like the style of Kena Bridge of Spirits. I thought that looked great. Of course, that's kind of up my alley also.
Right.
What was the deal with Goodbye Volcano High? Is that an Eric thing?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of immediately struck me as an Eric-ish.
Yeah.
It looks like a game that I will definitely play once it's free on PlayStation Plus.
Because it will be.
Yeah.
It absolutely.
Or if it goes just cheap enough during a sale. Honestly, no, it did look like something that appealed to me a little bit. Kind of had like that Life is Strange-esque like vibe about it. And I fucking love Life is Strange.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can definitely get behind it.
Yeah.
I need to see more about it before I can tell if I'm like really invested or not. But I'm intrigued. My interest is piqued.
It looked a little odd to me. I was thinking, why is this going on this console? Maybe it belongs on the Switch instead.
Right.
I could be wrong. Don't shoot me. But
or do.
It's definitely a bold attempt at a game on this new day and age that we have right now. Because it almost feels like 10, 15 years ago. But they can do what they want. It's fine. Anybody can make whatever they want. It's definitely an indie game.
For sure. And speaking of indie games, one game that really, really piqued my interest was the one by the developers of Hyper Light Drifter. What was it called? Solar something.
Oh, it's a Solar Ash.
Yeah.
Solar Ash, yes.
Solar Ash.
I mean, there was a very quick like glimpse at it. They didn't really show like combat or anything in it,
Right.
but just the overall art style and everything really just popped out to me. That's one that I'm really really eager to get my hands on, or at least to see more of.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the new gameplay for Ghostwire Tokyo?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Still holding out for more information on that.
Yeah,
and then Deathloop as well. Deathloop looked really cool too.
That's developed by Bethesda, right?
It's developed by Arcane Studios.
Yeah,
the
Arcane.
guys that did Dishonored.
Okay,
it's published by Bethesda.
Because I would have been real mad if they took time out of Elder Scrolls 6 for that.
No, right now they're developing
Starfield.
Yeah,
doesn't matter what they're developing. It's not Elder Scrolls 6.
Exactly. Yeah. No, my thoughts exactly.
Now,
another one.
Go ahead.
Another one game that piqued my interest, which is weird because usually I'm not like an arena multiplayer type person.
Oh, don't say it.
But what the fuck is it called?
Destruction game. The Destruction.
Destruction All Stars.
Yeah.
Yes, Destruction All Stars. It looks like. I mean, the only reason, Dave, shut the fuck up. You like weird. You like weird shit too.
Car combat game.
Yeah, the only reason I'm interested in it is because it's the first like notable car combat game that's come out since the like 2012 PS3 Twisted Metal game.
Yep.
And I've been playing Twisted Metal and Vigilante 8 since I was a kid. So I mean, I just have a soft spot for car combat, and it's kind of bummed me out that in the past decade there hasn't been fucking any
Twisted Metal was my jam growing up. So
that WWE car combat game. I'm really
I can't believe you fucking brought that up.
I'm pretty sure I'm not starting to forget that one. I'm pretty sure I intentionally forgot that one.
Yeah, shame upon you.
You know,
whatever happened to the Metallica video
that
game?
Fucking
that
game,
shit back.
Dude.
It's in the same place where StarCraft Ghost is.
Exactly.
That game is legit gonna turn into Fortnite meets fucking Rocket League.
Well, yeah, no, that's the thing. It looked like Destruction Derby meets fucking Overwatch meets Rocket League.
Yeah, why can you get out of your car? You can get out of your car and just like dance
or something.
Yeah.
And granted, I don't give a shit about literally anything about it other than the fact that it's a car combat game that looks like it has decently fun mechanics. That's the only reason I care. I probably won't buy it.
I'm never even
really
like big into indie games, but there's something about Little Devil Inside that just kind of grabbed me.
Yeah, dude.
Like kind of held on. It's like an indie weird version of like a
Bloodborne meets Monster Hunter.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a weird indie Souls game, but like way better than all the other indie Souls games.
Yeah.
Presumably.
It looked pretty cool. I did like it when I was watching it. I'm just like, well, I mean, if it's got that really fucking stupid hard combat that I'm not a huge fan of, as long as other mechanics are there for me, I'm usually okay with it. But I'm more of like a Returnal kind of guy. That game looked pretty fucking dope.
Dude, Returnal.
Returnal looked pretty sick. Yeah.
Returnal is probably the dumbest name that I've heard since Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
I will not disagree.
But the game looks amazing. Yeah. Stupid name aside, it looks great.
Although, I will say that because they didn't show New God of War, with A, bummed, and B, I'm boycotting this whole event. But I did see Godfall, which I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is a weird God of War game.
It literally looks like multiplayer God of War. It's literally what it looked like.
Yeah.
Didn't Gearbox learn from fucking Battleborn? Yeah.
No, they didn't. I mean, Gearbox doesn't learn from much. They make Borderlands and a bunch of garbage. Remember, I mean, some of their last games are Battleborn, fucking Aliens Colonial Marines, Duke Nukem Forever. The first PC port of Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
It was great because it was Halo Combat Evolved, but it was the first PC port of it.
Let's go over here to the Oh, fucking Google being rude. Let's go over here to the comments. Robin said it looked like the first-person anime. Neat. Speaking of Dishonored, Deathloop looked rather Dishonored-y.
Yeah.
Deathloop
it's by the developers of Dishonored.
Yeah, that's exactly why it does look like Dishonored.
That was the first thing I thought when I saw it too. I'm like, that looks like fucking Dishonored.
Was that game?
It's like Smoking Aces meets Dishonored. That's basically fucking Deathloop.
Was that game like another game where, you know, like let's say 4 people will play whatever, and then they're going after this other person who's like a superhuman or some shit?
No, Deathloop.
Did that look like that's what that was?
It looked like it was single player.
Did it?
But it looked like it was like a procedurally generated kind
that's
of
what
experience
it was.
from what I gathered.
It looked like one of those tag games.
Yeah, I could be wrong about this, but
like
it looked like it was one
grounds.
of those like like procedurally generated. Like every time you play, it's going to be different. Kind of like
I thought the same. I thought the same thing too, Eric.
It looks like.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks cool. I'm not a fan of things that are procedurally generated most of the time, but I mean, it looks cool. I can see why people would be excited about it.
Eric Sticks says, so what do you guys think about the PS5 digital? I personally won't get that one, but think it's cool that they made it. And adding to that really fast is Chris Wiley said, I will be getting the digital PS5 with the headset. That headset looks really sexy. Let's talk about the digital PS5 first. So when they showed the pictures of what it looks like, it comes up and boom, there's 2 PS5s sitting next to each other. One noticeably had a drive, which is going to be the 4K Ultra HD drive, and the other one didn't have a drive at all. So everybody that, you know, is anybody would have known, boom, digital versions. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's cool that they're providing that option, because we're in an age now where not everybody wants a physical game collection. The 4 of us aren't that demographic.
Right.
No, yeah.
You see all the shit behind me.
Right.
I like the fact that they. I mean, first of all, I will say the digital one looks better from an aesthetic viewpoint.
Smoother.
The one with the disc drive looks like it just kind of has like this like extra piece added to it. It looks, you know, it still looks great, but it's not as nice and symmetrical.
It's like a
and
protrusion.
I feel like they developed the digital one first, and then they're just shit. No, people like games. Gotta take it back to the design room here.
Yeah, it was almost like a protrusion, like out of it. Like it had a growth.
Exactly.
And then
it's like you had a beautiful, wonderful child, and then you noticed that it had like a small abnormality.
But the fact that, I mean, we already know that at least most of the PlayStation 4 library is going to be backwards compatible. Ever since the PlayStation 4 came out, actually before that, ever since the PlayStation Vita came out, every single game released on a Sony system from the Vita onward has been released digitally as well as physically. So like, you know, there are some games that are digital exclusive. There isn't a single PS4 game. There isn't going to be a single PS5 game that's physical exclusive. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if someone already has like an extensive PS4 collection of digital games and they don't collect physical games, that's fine going into a digital PS5, because, you know, if they don't have a need for a disc drive, then fuck it, don't get the one with the disc drive. They'll probably be like most likely like a $50 difference or some shit between the two of them, I'd imagine. I mean, they haven't announced pricing yet, but I'd imagine there will be a price difference.
Yeah, they're probably $100 to $150. It probably. I don't think it's going to be a. You don't think it's going to be that big? At least 100.
I think 100 would be the max difference. I couldn't imagine it being more than $100 difference. Personally,
I really do like that there's a digital option. I know a lot of people that are only digital, and it just makes sense if they can save a buck. That 4K drive is probably going to be very expensive anyway. So if they can save a buck, that's awesome. I applaud that. Keep in mind, I had someone ask us. I had someone ask me. I'm sure we've all seen it. If the system can be laid on its side, yes, the system can be laid on its side. It would be insane for a company to not allow that to happen, because not everybody has means to, you know, stand this up in places or whatever. The option needs to be there, and I think it's always going to have to be there. I am concerned with one thing, though. How the fuck am I gonna mount that to a wall?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. From the looks of it, it doesn't look like it's meant to be laid on its side. And
I thought that same thing too.
I mean,
if you're not if you're not positioning this like a trophy in your game room, then fuck you.
It looks like a vase.
I mean, to me, like I agree. Like, yes, it can be placed on its side, much in the way that like this water bottle can be placed on its side. It's not. It's definitely not the intended way to place it, but you can.
Just because it can doesn't mean you should. Now, I say that's the opposite for the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4, like the design, is meant to, be laid down.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like the PlayStation 3 was all versions of the PS3 were like curved on one side, and then the opposite side was flat and had like rubber feet on it and stuff like that. Like it was obviously designed to be laid either way. Just from, I mean, granted, like, we've only seen the PS5 from one angle, which is not the angle that you would be laying it down from. From what I've seen, it does not look like it's meant to be laid down. Personally,
I love that it's got USB-C.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Let's just talk about the design itself.
USBC's the way to go.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I immediately upon seeing it, I'm just like, somewhere Dave is creaming his diapers right now.
Yep.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
I almost cried a little bit.
Just like when I saw Horizon Forbidden West, I'm just like, oh, there goes Kelly.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No, dude. Yeah, you're absolutely
right
100% right.
Kelly lost his shit.
Yeah, I did. just a little bit.
Were you yelling as loud as I was when I saw the PS5?
I feel like I probably was.
I was so incredibly happy that it wasn't just a box.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
My first reaction, like my very first reaction, like I saw it and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I was kind of like that too.
Awesome.
I don't know. It's really awesome, but I don't know. I guess it's just nothing like what I was expecting it to be like. Yeah, which is kind of what threw me for a loop.
I don't think I had like an expectation. I knew that it was. I think from seeing what the controller looked like ahead of time, I was at least cautiously optimistic that it was going to be crazy looking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew that it was going to be different.
Because the last few like generations of systems, it seems like they've been each company has seemingly been trying to make it as minimalistic as possible to where it like fits in your entertainment center, like so it looks like a cable box or whatever. Yep. But I'm like, I'm a fucking gamer. I want shit that stands out and is gaudy and ugly and awesome.
Yep.
But that's why I have the fucking big red Spider-Man PS4.
I want to look at it and know. And just know.
The second you walk into my living room, you see a big fucking red thing with a big white spider on it. It's like, oh, this dude's a fucking gamer.
Yeah, see, that's kind of where my mindset is like I have my TV and I have it on my very long like entertainment stand, and come holiday 2020, left side PS5, right side that monolithic Xbox Series X.
Yep.
And there will be no confusion of what that TV is there for.
Yeah. Saruman's Tower.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is beautiful.
Seriously, can we be real? That's exactly what the PS5 looks like if you like stand it on its side and like look at it from a very thin angle.
Now let's go over to the extremely sexy design of the headset. I thought that headset looked phenomenal, along with the little clam style camera. I love that they kept that design.
Clamera. I'm coining it right now.
Clamera.
What did I say?
Clamera.
No, I said I'm coining it right now. Clamera.
Clamera. It looked awesome. I loved it. That headset though. I love that they kept the design and kind of made it as fluid as they did. I would love to have the headset with Sony. Are you listening? Why don't you bundle the headset with the PlayStation 5? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do it.
Not just a shitty little earbud thing.
God, I hate. Does anybody use those? Does anybody use those?
I hope not. God, I hope not.
Dude, they're fucking awful. They're not great.
They're so bad.
If they're
mean, at least they sent something with the PS4 though, because the PS3, that was one thing where like online play on the PS3. Granted, I'm antisocial and I hate talking to everybody, so I mean, I don't generally chat with people online anyway on gaming stuff. But the fact that like with PlayStation 3, the only way you could chat with people while you were playing online with them is if you went out of your way to buy a headset.
Right.
Whereas like Xbox 360 came with a headset. Boom.
Yep.
You had a 360, you had a headset. Everybody was on like, equal playing ground. Yeah, sure, some people may have splurged and got a better headset, but everybody had the option of chatting during gameplay. Whereas with the PlayStation 3, that was kind of a misstep. So at least with the PS4, they did include something. That something was garbage, but at least it was something.
Right. Yeah, it was absolutely awful. I'm pretty sure I probably threw those things away immediately after I got my PS4. Because I found.
Are you knocking those earbuds that came with the PS4? I'll have you know that thing is currently suspending a lantern that I have in my studio. So you know what?
That's awesome.
I put it to good use.
I guess it was all right. You know what? I can't believe the Sony won't give the people what they fucking want. They won't show us Knack 3. Those bastards.
Yeah.
Fuck that game. God damn it. It's so fucking terrible. I will tell you that
it's awful.
If they give us a really good set of like AKG earbuds, USB-Cs that have the spatial
and that's a little
audio,
bit too much to ask, Dave.
It is. It is because I have a pair of AKG somewhere. I actually had two.
I'll be happy with the basic chat headset.
It's
like
shedding
with
so
what
much.
came with the Xbox. Oh, the kitty.
The cat's shedding.
Yeah, it's shedding. It's like hairs flying everywhere.
It's chaos and disarray. What are we gonna do? So
the situation's getting hairy.
They also showed a little remote control for I don't even know what functions. Probably DVD.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't watch DVDs on any consoles, but I assume somewhere somebody will. But it was a nicer one than the PlayStation 3 remote.
Yeah, I mean, my consoles are my entertainment centers. Like, I don't have a cable box. I don't have a Chromecast. I don't have any of that shit.
Oh, so for you, it makes total sense.
Yeah, so for me, like, I mean, all of the TV that we watch at my house, whether it be on Hulu or Netflix or whatever, we used to have PlayStation Now. Everything we'd watch is either through the PlayStation or through the Xbox. Like, we watch everything from our game consoles.
Right.
So yeah,
that makes sense.
The remote actually does make sense to me. Is it necessary? No, far from it, because it works
controllers are everywhere.
Using the controller.
You're gonna have 8 of these things. Someone did mention the controllers being $60, which I mean, if they're watching, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, that's
how much controllers
normal.
are now anyway.
Yeah.
That's how much controllers have been ever since like the 360.
Be prepared to make it rain with $60 at a time. That's exactly how
I actually kind of feel like for as cool and futuristic looking as the PS5 controller is, I feel like $60 is actually not too bad.
It's awesome. You guys think there's going to be a
it's better than Switch Pro controller that's fucking $80.
Dude, yeah, seriously.
It's not even that cool. I mean, actually it is kind of cool. When you play with the fucking Joy-Cons and then you play that, you're like, okay, I'll pay you $100 for one of those.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not that it's like an amazing controller. It's just that it's like a good controller.
Right.
But by being a good controller, it's significantly better than playing with Joy-Cons. Yeah. So it's like, those are your options. Yeah. Either pay Nintendo exorbitant amounts of money or play with Joy-Cons.
That's right.
Which also cost exorbitant amounts of money.
Now, let's do
seriously, though.
Let's do a live friendly wager, okay?
Okay.
I don't know what the winner's going to get, but this is between us four right here. What do you think? What's the price going to be? I'm going to let we'll just let Eric go first. Eric, lock it in.
$4.99.
Okay. Tony?
I'm going to say $3.99.
No, okay, hold on. There is 2 versions. Let's do CD drive version only.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I'm going by the digital. The digital version doesn't exist within my brain right now.
Okay, cool. So you said $4.99. He said $3.99.
Yep.
Okay. Kelly,
I'm going $5.50.
$5.50. I'll take the 600 range for the CD version. Yep. I think it's a high side, and then the digital version I think is a low side. But again, not thinking of the digital version. 600. So we'll find out.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, we'll see. It'll be interesting. We'll lock in those numbers, and we'll have to figure out some kind of reward system for whoever's the closest.
Or
well, if I'm wrong, I'll just say whoever's wrong has to buy it.
Yeah,
which we're all doing anyway.
So yeah,
keep in mind we could also do a punishment. Also, it doesn't have to just be, which would be a reward for one of us.
I don't feel like Sony would hit the 600 mark again.
Yeah,
just because of the PlayStation 3, the reception that had, and the fact that, like, I mean, granted, by the end of the PS3 generation, they had caught up to Microsoft in sales, but damn, they had a slow fucking start that generation, and it was because they're trying to sell it at $600. Granted,
I picked last year's asshole. It's all I had left.
Yeah, due to inflation and all that stuff, like $600 now isn't the same as $600 back in 2006.
Right.
But I still think, I'm pretty sure that Sony's sitting there thinking, like, we could charge $599 for this, but the last time we did that,
didn't go over well.
So well,
and they can't go. They're not going to go $200 over Xbox. They're not going to fucking do it.
No.
And $100, maybe. They're not going to go $200 over.
No. I think both Microsoft and Sony right now are playing it so close to their chest, because I think they're both trying to play hardball. Both of them want the other to reveal the price first. So they can undercut them by like $50 or whatever.
Exactly. Now we love the black and white
almost
version.
certain that's it.
We love the black and white version. We think it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Would you guys be more apt to purchase the black version, if there is, or the white version? I'm going white.
Honestly, whatever version I can, because we know that the supplies are going to be limited. Whatever fucking version of this disk drive that I can get, I will get.
Okay, so wait.
At this point,
what if they don't have the disk drive and you miss out on it? You going to get digital? Yes.
No.
You really wouldn't?
I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'd do it. I couldn't.
I'd wait.
I'll wait for the disc drive.
I'd have to have it.
Yeah.
Got to catch them all, dude.
I mean, I'm sure I'll end up with 2 different versions of it eventually. Like I still have a PS4 and a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is knowing that, you know, mid-generation consoles are a thing now, I'm definitely not gonna buy 2 launch versions. Like, you know, I'll buy a launch version. And then, when there's inevitably a PS5 Pro, I'll probably end up fucking getting it.
It would blow my mind.
If there is a black version at launch, I will get that.
Yeah.
Really, just for symmetry.
Yeah.
Right.
Not like a white PS5 and then like black Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm. It would blow my mind if the digital version was only $200.
Oh, I don't see that happening.
But no, it's not gonna. No, it's not gonna happen.
PS4 is $200 when it's on sale.
I see like $300 at lowest for the digital version.
Yeah, even that's
undercutting. Yeah.
Like I said, my prediction is I think the disc drive one will be $499 and the digital will be like $399. That's me trying to look into the crystal ball here. But no, honestly, as far as the color goes, you know, like I said, I like having something that's bold and stand out and stuff. Like when I got the Switch, I got the one that came with the fucking red and blue Joy-Cons instead of the gray Joy-Cons. When I got my PS4 Pro, I got the Spider-Man one. I want the shit to stand out. If they made a hot pink fucking variant of the PS5, I'd get the hot pink one.
Like
just
Kelly's
because
shirt?
Yep.
Just because that would be the one that would stand the fuck out, and people would, holy shit, what the fuck is that giant hot pink thing in the middle of your living room? It's PS5, bitch. What?
Yeah, it doesn't look like this thing's gonna take vinyls very well either.
Nah,
doesn't look like a vinyl system. And if I see any of you crazy bastards putting stickers all over your PlayStation 5, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Last time I did that was with my original Xbox. It's all faded out now, but I have a Kingdom Under Fire Heroes skin. It's on my original Xbox.
Well, I mean, the vinyls, right? You're talking about the vinyls that you can get?
Well, it's the one that I had was just more of a normal sticker.
Oh, okay. So the vinyls
are
meant
a cheaper, shittier version of the vinyls.
The vinyls are meant to come off. Right. That doesn't bother me. You can do as much of that as you want, but holy fuck, stickers that just don't come off.
Oh, the sticker can come off.
It's
just all faded out now because it's been on my Xbox for almost 20 years.
Yeah. So I really I'm really excited for this. I hope I get one. If I don't and I have to wait a year, I'm gonna be pretty fucking sad. But
same.
Not that sad because we've kind of been playing a lot more PC games lately. Which is a little odd, but we've kind of it happens, right? Gaming is gaming.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Exactly.
You guys want to play quarters later? It's a game.
Right. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why, I'm gravitating towards PlayStation over buying Series X anyway because of the fact that I'm a fucking Sony fanboy.
Right.
But I'm eventually going to have them both, obviously. We all are.
Yeah.
I have no delusions about that.
Yeah.
But as far as day one purchase or whatever, the fact that I know, I can get a Series X and play Halo Infinite that I can already play on my PC, or I can buy PlayStation and know that I'm going to get exclusive experiences from the start.
Yeah,
it's kind of a no-brainer.
Well, I was discussing,
really
in my opinion.
I was discussing, and we won't go too far into this because it's a constant battle with things. My coworker at work, the gentleman 70, he's always curious about things. The computer I built for Shane, we delivered that last weekend. The laptop that I purchased that's next to me, it's, he asked, because his son's a gamer. He asked, well, you're just going to PC game, right? Why would you buy this new console? And I tell him the same thing. Am I going to buy console for $600-700 and have it last almost 10 years? Or am I going to upgrade a computer every single year? And it's all personal preference too.
Yeah.
I'm generally a pretty lazy guy. I mean, we're all generally pretty lazy guys. We don't want to do that extra work. I don't think any one of us want to do that extra work.
No.
We've got these computers for the gaming that we're doing.
I don't even
now.
want to do the amount of work that I already do, let alone extra.
Yeah. So it's a situation where we just want to turn it on and have it just work. And that's it. That's all it is. It has nothing to do. Now, we have powerful computers. We still don't game on these computers. We all have pretty rugged computers. We just don't. We're just, we're console guys.
Although I gotta say, as a console guy, it is fun, dabbling in mods when, that's generally not something I'm used to.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I grabbed the Grand Theft Auto 5 again for free, because I actually didn't have it for PC. Now I do, because those mods are fucking hilarious.
Thanks, Epic.
The Dark Souls Remastered, I was talking about it on my last stream. Of course, I started streaming Doki Doki Literature Club earlier this week, which was interesting so far, to say the least. After I'm finished streaming that, I'd imagine after one or two more streams, I don't know how long the game is, I'd imagine I'll be done after one or two more streams. I plan to stream Dark Souls Remastered, but there's a mod for it called Daughters of Ash that I discovered that's basically a complete overhaul of the game that alters item locations, it fucks with boss fights, it pretty much does everything possible to take a seasoned Dark Souls vet and make them feel like a Dark Souls newbie again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that sounds like something fun that I will love and hate at the same time.
Right. Sonny just said real quick. Sonny just said show the PS5. Have you not seen it, Sonny? They showed it tonight. This is it right here. This is
right there.
This right here is the CD version. And then right behind my head is the digital version that just doesn't have a CD-ROM drive. So if you haven't seen this, you're about an hour and a half too late on it. They revealed it tonight. So,
well, I mean, if someone's here to get the gaming scoop, now you're seeing it for the first time over there, or I don't know which direction you have.
It's right here
on my screen. You're over there.
Yeah. So this right here is the controller. Boop boop. And this right here is the digital, not the digital, the drive version, we're going to call it. Yep. Drive version. And then, of course, this one right here is the digital version. these super sweet headsets that we just talked about. They look
super sweet.
Really fucking cool. This right here is a little controller that looks like, I don't know, all the rest of my controllers.
It's a TV remote.
And then way over here, this little guy right here, that's the new camera. It's got like this really cool clamshell looking top on it. And I actually saw it and I'm just like, oh, that fucking thing's that's cool. I like that.
I think this is the first console design that looks as ridiculous as like those concept photoshops you always see leading up to console reviews.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so about it. Like, I still remember when the PS3 was coming up and people were speculating. I still remember finding this like concept Photoshop of a PS3 that had a UMD drive on it that would have potentially played PSP games. And
but PS5 doesn't have that.
Right.
I just myself upwards of $500.
I still remember, like, before I was savvy enough to understand that was just a Photoshop made by some asshole in his basement.
Right.
Right. Like, I saw that and I'm like, yo, the PS3 is gonna even play PSP games. That's so cool. And then I actually saw the PS3. I'm like, oh, where's the UMD drive?
Oh, I'm sad.
I was like, actually
so
disappointed
sad
by it.
Yeah, but I do think they did a pretty good job with this design. I hope that they haven't really showed a 360 degree of it. I really kind of hope that they would, because I want to see the ports for cooling and stuff. I'm curious how to keep that much power nice and cool. Now on the top part here, it looks like there's probably some vents in that part that flares out, which makes sense. And I have a feeling a lot more of the vent is in the back than the side or the bottom. Yeah. Unlike the Xbox, which kind of brings it in the bottom and just forces it out the top. Because that Xbox has always had a bigger fan, it seems. And I'm also curious, someone mentioned something, and I don't know if these consoles would really do that, but gaming laptops, and I have a feeling yours probably does too, there's a one button fan up to 100.
Yeah.
You know, and someone's mentioned that for these, if it's going to push the limits to 8K gaming. So I'm actually curious if that's even a possibility. But
I mean, the one thing that I will say is, like, my Xbox has never really sounded like it was going to explode. But my PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pros and PlayStation 4s in general just are notorious for not cooling super well.
They really are.
So occasionally when I'm playing games that really aren't super graphically intensive, my PlayStation sounds like it's gonna fucking spontaneously combust.
Yep.
So
I feel like the idea of them even bringing up 8K at this point is kind of just
a little ridiculous.
Like a shady marketing tactic in a strange way. Like, kind of like when like the Xbox One S came out, and you know, they touted like, oh, 4K output. That didn't mean that games were outputting, or like
it's the main menu.
Yeah, games weren't in 4K on the S. They are on the X, but on the S, games were not 4K. They didn't render in 4K. They didn't upscale or anything like that. They're just 1080p menu. Or whatever. But yeah, exactly. Like, it had a 4K, and a 4K Blu-ray drive, and it had like 4K streaming capabilities. Yep. So it had the ability to output images in 4K, but that didn't mean you were gaming in 4K. So I think I feel like it's the same kind of concept with this, where like they say 8K gaming, whatever. With the Xbox, maybe when you're like playing original Xbox games backwards compatibly, maybe it can do 8K.
Yeah.
You know, it's playing 20-year-old games.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just, like I said, like maybe if you're streaming videos or something, or using an ultra HD Blu-ray, maybe you can hit 8K resolutions. But there's no way in fucking hell that these games are gonna be able to put out 8K resolution, especially when with the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they already said that their target is 4K resolution with
30 frames
per second.
30. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but like if it isn't an automatic 4K 60 for every game at this point, there's no way they're gonna even get close to 8K.
Exactly. That's my thought too, is like if some games are still running at 30 frames per second, how the hell are they gonna bump it up to 8K already?
Yeah, but there's still gonna be fucking people out there like, oh my god, you're playing in 4K. Wait, is that 30 Oh, I can't watch this. I can't watch this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it hurts my eyes.
And I mean, it is getting to a point where it's almost inexcusable for games to be running at less than 60 frames a second. Like I don't even want to sound like a
you just
like
crossed over into that guy.
I did cross over into that guy. It's because of my my laptop with my 144 hertz refresh rate. Yeah. I'm spoiled now. Yeah. But no,
I'd rather like for example, I'd rather Red Dead look a little bit less pretty and get a stable 60 frames per second, like
exactly. Yeah.
Like
I went back and like Red Dead 2's on Game Pass now, and even on Xbox One X. Like almost like I gotta tell you, there's almost no excuse.
Yeah.
For it to not run it like Jesus, even 45 frames per second.
You guys will laugh. 30. You guys will laugh at this, but the 144 IPS on this laptop right here, I still plugged it into my my screen here and only got like 60. I didn't. It sounds odd because I mean I'm looking at this screen, but it sounds odd, but I like the resolution. I like the looks of it. It looks beautiful. It's all that stuff that people like. I don't know if I care that much. I don't know if I do. And that's the thing. I play these games and maybe because it's the games I'm playing, or maybe I'm just not the type of person to really care about something so incredibly visually stunning. You know, I still look at Red Dead on this screen. My screens aren't super crazy by any means, but it's just I don't know. It's weird.
Right.
It's weird.
I mean, in my living room, I have a I have a 4K HDR TV, and when I got my PS4 Pro, that was like the main catalyst of me deciding to get one of the mid-generation consoles, because I was totally opposed to the idea. I'm like, I'm not getting a fucking Pro, fuck that, I'll just wait for the PS5. And then I got 4K TV and I'm like, well, maybe they have the Spider-Man one. And I somehow talked myself into it like I always do. But I noticed when I got my PS4 Pro and hooked up to the 4K TV, like I went into God of War, and most games like would have an option where like either graphics or performance, where like on a standard PS4, God of War runs at 1080p 30 frames a second. You put into a PS4 Pro, you can either have it at 4K at 30 frames a second, or you can have it at 1080p at 60 frames a second. And at first I put into the resolution mode, because I'm like, oh my god, 4K, taking advantage of my 4K TV and all that stuff. And yeah, it looks fucking so crisp. Like, I couldn't believe how crisp it looked, especially when you go into photo mode and stuff like that. And then I tried it with the 60 frames a second 1080p. It actually looked better than it did in 4K, just because of how smooth the animations were. Like, yeah, sure, if you're going into photo mode and you're trying to take some bomb-ass 4K pictures, then, yeah, put it in a resolution mode, whatever. But, like, in action, moment-to-moment gameplay, you're not, like, paying attention to whether or not you can see the pores on Kratos' face, or that you can see his fucking nut hair sticking out of his loincloth. Like, the smoothness of the action makes a much bigger difference than the actual resolution. So when I see, when I see, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be 4K at 30 frames a second, I'm like, why don't they just drop it to 240p or whatever the like step below 4K is? I forget at the moment.
Like 2160 or something.
Yeah, thank you. But 2160p and put it 60 frames a second, and boom. Frankly, that'll be a much wiser use of the resources, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. When I heard that, I was like, really? Like, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, you guys got any last words about the PlayStation 5? Anything catch your eye? What you're excited about besides everything?
Men's asses.
One thing we kind of
Pornhub. We haven't brought up Pornhub yet.
Yeah.
I think there we go. Kind of like brushed over, and I don't know if it's just due to a general lack of interest. I kind of is on my part, only because I've never played the game. Hitman 3.
Oh yeah,
That
I was kind of excited about that. I saw that and thought it looked pretty
It
cool.
looks good.
Still stuff.
Yeah, it did look
I
good.
still I still haven't played like the Hitman reboot series yet, but I've heard that they're amazing. Like people love the new Hitman games. So yeah, that's awesome that 3 is coming out as a launch title, right?
I
believe so. Yeah,
it was a launch title.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd rather get a fucking Splinter Cell game, but I mean, whatever.
Right?
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, is that really gonna happen?
it's not like Ubisoft's gonna listen to anyone about that, anyways.
No, but they got AI companions.
Sucks.
Still happening.
Yeah. They might put fucking Sam Fisher in literally any other game though.
It's just gonna be
He
like
does. Yeah, they keep doing that.
picture on a
Seriously though,
thing of like Sam Fisher grabbing his nuts and like giving you the finger.
They should.
Sounds about right.
They should stop just putting all these characters in random fucking games and
Just give me Splinter Cell.
it just it kind of made no sense to me why they put him in Breakpoint.
Just make Splinter Cell Chaos Theory 2. That's that's all I want.
That's true. You should get that. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get right on it. All right, you good?
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
guys. Thank you very much for hanging out, and chilling with us, talking about PS5. We're very, very, very excited. We will keep everyone updated on things as we go. Derail is part of our Discord. He is a master at posting news, even stuff I didn't even know existed. That guy.
Yeah, I love Derail's nudes. You said nudes?
Nudes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that guy is a gem. So join our Discord.
Keep his nudes to yourself.
Join our Discord. Let's chat some more. Let's share some memes. Some of the PS5 memes are hilarious.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.
Peace out, y'all.
See you guys later. Take care. Bye. I lost my screen.